As the patient is now shifted to low level mat or floor level mat, first we will train how the patient can come to side sitting and what are the activities which can be done in that position. Person can roll to side lying, and by pushing on the weight bearing upper limb, the person can come into side sitting. There is no need of trunk rotation in this kind of movement. The legs are bent and are rested on the floor. Arm may be needed for the support if person is not having good trunk control. It is a comfortable and elegant sitting posture. Many patients find it suitable and enjoy the position. Here, if we avoid the use of arm for support, it increases trunk activities and activities of hip muscles on one side of body. In side sitting, scooting can be taught. It can be practiced on strong side for patients who have lower limb weight bearing limitations, and it can be used as a mode of ambulation or as a technique to reach for support when the person falls down and he or she needs to get up. Scooting is done by lifting the weight bearing hand, putting it slightly forward and away from the body, taking the weight on that upper limb again, and lifting the pelvis and shifting it near to the upper limb. This way the person can move towards or in the direction of the weight bearing limb, upper limb of the patient. Next position is prone kneeling. The person in prone lying can do head flexion so that person's chin rests on the chest of the patient. He or she can gradually walk the hands backward and bend hips and knees and come to prone kneeling. Other than that, when the person is supine, he can roll to side lying, then come into side sitting, and gradually turning forward and over, he can extend the non-weight bearing upper limb, place it besides the upper limb which is weight bearing in side sitting, and gradually shifts weight so that both the arms are bearing weight and the person can come into prone kneeling or quadruped position. Rhythmic stabilization in this position, it is helpful to increase coordinated isometric muscle contraction of upper limb, lower limb and trunk muscles. Upper limbs are in partial weight bearing position, so it stimulates development of strength and mobility of upper limbs. It can be useful as a method of mobility at floor level for the patients. There is partial weight bearing through hip joints, which is useful to start weight bearing training over the lower extremities. Many ground level functional activities such as playing with kids or cutting out materials for dressmaking or planting seeds, gardening, it requires prone kneeling position. So a person can be trained to do these kind of activities in this position. Next is crawling. Same prone kneeling position. When the person is having good balance, single arm and leg are raised, weight free limb is lifted and placed forward as seen in the image. Weight is borne again on that limb and the remaining three limbs are then moved ahead. Repeatedly doing this process will lead to a crawling activity. It includes activities which causes coming to side sitting from crawling and coming back to crawling position during the practice of activity. It helps in building coordination of whole body including arms and legs, which simulates walking pattern. It is helpful to train control of excessive mobility or improve mobility when there is reduced mobility of spine, because this position is relatively weight free for spine and spinal muscles. Weight bearing and approximation in upper limb and lower limb stimulates activities of muscle. It is safe and effective ambulatory technique for patients who are having poor balance in erect posture. Now next is kneeling. We need to keep a few cautions. First, before the person to get into kneeling position, we have to make sure that the surface on which the person is kneeling is sufficiently comfortable for the person so that he or she can tolerate pressure over the knees. Next, we need to see that there is enough range available for knee flexion. Minimum of about 100 degrees of flexion range is required for kneeling activity. Next, any furniture which is to be used for support during this position has to be firm and immobile. A chair or bed is better pushed back against a wall so that proper support is provided. We also need to look for any other disability which may affect the patient's ability to come to the kneeling position. For example, the person with restriction of ankle joint movement or pain in toes cannot maintain or cannot come into the kneeling position, so it becomes difficult for that person or painful for that person, so it is not advisable to get him into the kneeling position. Kneeling can be attained through various different positions or techniques. When the person is able to stand, kneeling can be obtained by facing a chair or other suitable support surface. Then the patient leans forward and bears weight on one or both hands while the legs bend to put first one and then other knee to the ground. Alternately, by standing back further from the support, both legs can be bent and both knees can be rocked to ground together. When the knees are in this position, the rest of the body is brought into alignment so that the position is erect as shown in the figure. Second, when the person is able to sit on a divan bed or settee, lower side height, the patient sits in the bed and turns to one side, taking weight on both hands. The turning movement continues as the knees come over the side of the bed and gradually down until they reach the floor. The trunk remains prone and is supported on the bed. We must take care to see that the knees come to the floor beside the bed and not underneath the bed. Once the knees are settled on the ground, the body is brought into alignment in erect position by extension of hip and with the help of arms. When patient initially attempts kneeling, the therapist can help by controlling the movement through grasping pelvis firmly from behind thus providing confidence and indicating the direction of movement by pressure of hands on the extensor aspect of the hip. The person can also kneel up from the prone kneeling position by sitting back on the heels and then extending the hips and knees. The body weight is evenly distributed between the knees. The lower legs act as a bracket and the rest of body is held correct. Throughout this movement, the arms can be used for control or for assistance if it is required. Kneeling up from side sitting can also be taught or trained. The turn and lift of pelvis, as when we used to come to prone kneeling, can be combined with extension of trunk in a continuous movement, and thereby the person can come to kneeling position instead of prone kneeling. As we know, kneeling is an important position, but many of the patients, even many of us, are not using kneeling in daily life. It is majorly a transitory position while coming from horizontal to vertical posture. It is very much suitable for re-educating or correcting hip and lumbar spine control. When the person is weight bearing and transfers on one knee, it can be used as preparation of stance phase of gait. It also helps in next transition of kneel to half kneel to stand technique. When we teach small stepping on knee, sideways or forward position, it helps to ambulate the patient. To counteract effect of lumbar and hip flexion attitude due to prolonged sitting, the therapist can help by using light touch on patient's head while doing this, the command is provided to stretch up and straighten the trunk. Alternately, manual contact on anterior aspect of hip and posterior aspect of back is also provided with firm pressure and command to bring hip up and forward and move trunk up and backward. These kind of techniques will help to patient for coming in the position. We can also train balance activity using arms for support initially, and once the patient learns without support, as improvement is seen.